Yo, it's June 28th, day 16. Day 16 log. Um, and what happened today? I feel like a lot and also like not very much. It's a quiet day today. It's a Saturday. And, the kids finished school. And kind of like the first day, it's like a lot of kind of decompression the weekend before I finished school. So kind of just a little bit of reset. And I cleaned up a little bit today. It's just one of these things that's been on my mind because it's been a mess. It feels like 18 months of like build up of feeling like not having enough time. And Butter's just chilling in the back. He loves crawling around on my desk when I'm sitting here and then like knocking stuff over. I wonder if he's gonna, well, we'll see. Let's see what happens. But hydrating today. This is a one-piece mug that I got from Japan back in October 2023. We happened to be there in, oh, come on now. He's like, seriously, he's going to knock something over. Oh, it's like we were there in 2023 and we planned this trip and just happened to be there for the One Piece 25th anniversary, which was like really exciting. And we ended up being able to go to Universal Studios for that trip, which was really cool. So, some days I have my water while I'm doing these, hydrating like I said I would many days ago, and other times I don't. So I'm doing my best here. And it's kind of that thing where it's like perfectly imperfect. Some days you do all the things that you need to do, and other days you don't, and that's okay. With some of the space that I have now, spent a little bit of time cleaning up. There's like a pile of boxes like just over there. And I pulled out this tripod the other day to film my younger daughter's graduation. So I have this tripod set up and I got an alternate view of this, trying to get ready for to film the actual content of this course. So, one of the things that I really love is playing around with all this technology. So this particular camera here is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 that I had gotten before my trip to Vietnam earlier this year. And it was, you see, I see like people on YouTube, like vloggers and stuff like that, using the camera. And you know what? It actually is a really good camera. So I'm not going to turn this into like an advertisement for this camera, but I like it because it's really easy to set up. And then the other thing is I can see exactly what's going on. Which makes me think of this other thing of like eye contact on Zoom, because it's something that I guess like it's a problem that people thought they had to solve for, which is to say like, oh, eye contact is so important in terms of like connecting with your audience and connecting with people. And it just makes you feel like, I don't know, like, like more connected with somebody. But then I realized like for myself and then for other people that I've spoken with, I've noticed that not everybody like likes intense eye contact. And one of my classmates in the EMBA program actually said like, I listen better when I'm not making eye contact. And I thought for a moment and I kind of thought like, yeah, maybe that's true. So then like, so one of the things was, so that helped me kind of like move past like needing to make eye contact in like every single interaction that I had, which was nice. And I don't think that I've ever gotten that that feedback or anybody's ever said to me like, hey, like make eye contact with me so that I know that you're talking to me. I think that there are other indicators that I am listening and I'm paying attention. And I think it's the same way on Zoom as well. It's like if you think about a setup on Zoom where you have like, a screen on, you have a screen where the person is, and if I were like looking at you and paying attention to you, you're not where the screen is. So that's kind of like, for me, uh, on Zoom, I thought that it was a lot easier to um, observe people and calibrate them and kind of like really get that, like, get to those pieces that are like how do I observe this person and look at all the body language and all the subtle nonverbal cues that they're putting forward? And I thought Zoom was very helpful for that, and that's why I like Zoom for sessions, either for like human design readings, for meetings, for hypnosis sessions. Working on Zoom is actually really interesting because it's like there's a layer, and then it's also a little bit more comfortable for me to really calibrate, because like in hypnosis, one of the things that's really important is calibration, to look at a person and identify when there are either things that are coming up that need to be addressed, or there are shifts that the person's making that you can actually see through their kind of like how they hold their body, kind of through the way that they kind of like reorient themselves and that type of thing. So all of that is to say, like, the eye contact is not super important to me, I guess. And then the other thing is that Butter's just opening the door. He's like so creative. Everybody's so creative. So like, get out of here. I'm gonna like, oh, what are you looking for? Like, be in or be out. So like, that kind of makes me think of like this type of thing of like, am I looking at the camera? Am I making good eye contact with you? And this is kind of nice because it's like I have a screen and all that. So I'm enjoying this particular setup. Like, if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't maybe be as comfortable, because I would be tied to like my computer or like my phone, which is kind of like its own thing of like, like talking into a phone and holding it, and then like, oh, I got so many gadgets. Like, I always have some kind of gadget within reach. Oh, well, this is a mount for this camera actually, but what I wanted to pull out was actually this phone mount, right? So we could use like something like this to mount the phone and have that kind of conversation, but then I can't look up the phone and all of these things. And that's just all to say there's so many reasons why I put in front, like so many reasons I put in front of myself to not do a certain thing. And sure, like I could have done things at those times, but I didn't, because either it was a convenient excuse, or it was just like maybe too much to do to get the results that I would want. And having this setup, again, is just easy to turn it on, start going, and then just making it happen. So from the perspective of like removing barriers of like getting things done, this is super handy. So I'm very grateful for the fact that I'm able to do this right now. What else is happening? Yesterday I was talking about asking for help, and that's exactly what I did. I was getting to the point of like, so it's June 28th right now, and I'm talking about releasing this program in July 31st. So then that means in the month of July, my plan is for about a month to, have email set up and have like that, like what do you call it, like a sales page or a landing page to talk about this program, the Haizhen Transformation. And I was finding a block there as well. The actual like sitting down and setting up the emails in the system was a block. And my friend Christian was saying, like, I've seen some of her stuff, and she does like a lot of great like things on Substack as well. She has a podcast, and she does like emails, and I've seen some spreadsheets that she shared with me, and like it's just like really great organization. So I asked her if she would be interested, and it turns out that she's like, I love setting up emails, I love doing all of these things and all of that back end stuff, and she has the capacity for it. So I asked her for some help, and she's like, yeah, I love doing that stuff. which is like so nice and freeing for me, because then I feel like I can release that mental energy of like thinking about doing, like, not only writing the emails, which is a part of it that I enjoy, and I'll get to that in a minute, but like the actual like figuring out the system, learning it, setting it up. I guess I don't mind learning the technology, but it's like to get it done in a way that makes it like simple for me. And it's like sometimes I think about like, what's the best way of doing something. And then I can go down a rabbit hole of like, I'm trying to learn like all of these different ways of doing it and then picking the best one. And if I were to point to something, I'd point to my one line in my human design as a 5-1 splenic projector. The one line is the investigator. And that's the part of me that loves to have a lot of information. So now that I've asked for help and I've gotten that yes, it's like this. I felt very energized today to just sit down and write emails because to put everything like to think about having to write emails and then having to put it somewhere. I was like, oh, is there like a more streamlined way that I could do it? Maybe I can like write it right into the system that I'm using, Pictos, which is my hypnosis trainer's kind of, what do you call it? Like, well, what do they call these things now? They're like it's like an all-in-one sales platform basically. So like thinking about, should I write it directly into there or should I not? I don't know. And then that was kind of another block. So then like it's about removing obstacles at this point. It's like it's also that kind of rule, that law, Parkinson's law, that says like whatever task you have will fill the time that you allot to it. And it's kind of like getting down to that wire of like, I'm getting so close. Like July 31st is going to be here before I know it. And I've started a little bit on social media and like I've recorded like what did I say? Day 16, 7? Is it day 16 or 17? If I said day 16, I apologize. It's day 17, I believe. And like I haven't released the first one of these yet, which I will start to do very soon. It's like getting down to that. It's like, okay, like now is the time to move. Now is the time to start putting the message out there so that I can start getting, like gauging interest and drumming up that interest and having all this message out there so that I can really start doing the actual work of helping people, of teaching people some of the things that I've shared in these videos. Like the intention of this is not really to teach, although I think sometimes I get into that phase because it's something that I enjoy doing. And I think these videos are a pretty accurate representation of how I would speak with you in like, I'm going to say real life, because, or let's say like in real time, because the life that you're living is always real. Like this is real. Um, which makes me think of this other thought that I was thinking, that as I'm writing the content and putting the social media together, and I'm reflecting back on like my journey of like putting myself out there onto social media, I'm remembering that, or I'm noticing a pattern of like that feeling that need to prove myself. And that is a pattern that's related. It's one of the challenges of an open heart center or an undefined heart center. For myself, in my human design chart, I have a completely open heart center. And one of the challenges there is feeling the need to prove myself, and reminding myself that that's not my energy. I know that I've embodied that a lot more in my like day-to-day interactions with people in real time, I'm going to say. Again, I'm trying not to say real life because then the question becomes, what is real? But in like actual like conversations with people, I'm feeling much less the need to prove myself. I'm able to show up more as myself. And then I'm recognizing the fact that social media feels like something different. These videos feel like something different. And it feels like I'm like trying to show up in a way that I'm trying to like show up in a certain way. I'm like, I want people to like me. I want people to kind of know, like, and trust and do all of those things. And I guess I do. I like people to kind of, you know, resonate with me. And sometimes what happens is I end up playing a character. I remember distinctly there was a time, the first couple times And for a long time, when I would show up on camera like this and make social media videos, like I was posting things on Facebook, and I felt like I was playing a character. Um, I was playing a character. It was like I put on this mask of like, this is John, the social media version, the one that, the way that like I'm gonna show up in a way that I think I need to show up on the internet, whatever that means. It's and that's probably like an influence of, you know, seeing people online and seeing people successful and seeing people like, you know, get all the likes and all that stuff. And then now this makes me think of even like the scale or the number of people that see something. It's like, you know what, like honestly, even having one person um, watch or read something that I produce and say like, thank you for this, or I really like this, or just being that one recognition is so valuable to me, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it endlessly. Um, it's like when people notice things, like I don't know, like one of the things is I've taken my brand, my previous branding, curate and upgrade, and there was a point where I was just like, I'm done, I'm going to switch over to Haizhen. And I should probably talk about this maybe in a more like official video or something, but um, it was like that curate and upgrade served me up until a certain point, and then I realized in my trip to Asia that I had started getting away from my roots, moving away from like my background, and I was trying to assimilate into a world. Um, I guess assimilate into a world that I thought I needed to like be a certain way to show up in, rather than showing up as me in the world, if that makes sense. And that's what this is. This is a lot more like Asian and Chinese influence. Like if you look at some of the logos and the branding, like I'm putting like Chinese characters into it. I'm using the red color, which is like the lucky color in Chinese culture. Mm. And all of this, it just feels like a lot more like real to me, which is kind of something that I think is important. So like showing up in that way is has been really nice. So like what happened? I asked for help. I asked for some help, and I got a yes. And that freed up the space to start writing emails. So I was able to put together. Um, I was pretty creative today, just getting through like a whole whack of emails, like just like, you know, doing without the intention of uh, like doing things without worrying about how it would be perceived or received. And I think like this realization is going to help me get out onto LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I believe, is where I can make the most impact or reach the audience that I intend to reach, which are high capacity bedrock leaders and creatives, people who are holding up the world, doing all of the things that they think that they need to do, that they've been told they need to do, and forgetting to hold themselves. They're supporting themselves, their family, their work, their jobs. Oftentimes, these people that I'm looking for are, or these people that I believe that this work will resonate so deeply with, are the ones who are super capable. They're the ones who can do everything, and that people turn to when things go wrong. They're like the fixers, um, and they kind of put themselves last, right? And there comes a point when you live in that experience, and you look up and you pause and wonder, what am I doing? Right? What am I doing? And in some ways, like the easiest person to market to is somebody who's really similar to me or where I came from. And that's exactly where I came from. So that's that's where all of this is going. So I'm happy that like there's some clarity there. I'm getting a lot more organized, and just starting to pull all of the things together. So like um, from the point when I started making these logs to now, it's been about 2 weeks, almost 2.5 weeks, and I've I'm happy to say that I've made some significant progress for myself. Um, and I'm really happy with where I'm going with it. I think it's just to continue to trust the process, to continue to work through, and just kind of follow along and not worry so much about proving myself and not worrying so much about necessarily having to show up in a certain way and maybe to show up as different. I never liked the idea of being like too much same as everyone else. I think that I walk, and I guess we all kind of have to walk to the beat of our own drum. And that gets missed sometimes. Like you think that you have to fit into another group, um, and that's kind of like you see a dominant narrative or a predominant narrative outside and of a way that you need to be, and it doesn't really work, right? It doesn't work for a lot of people. Or does it work for anybody? I don't know. I don't know. I think that a lot of people struggle. And that's where the stress, the anxiety, the burnout, all of that comes in. And that's why I'm sitting here with you in one of my favorite fleeces, right? This is my capybara fleece. Right. So I'm just having fun chilling. Because like why not? Right? I'm comfortable. Does it affect the quality of what I'm saying? Like I mean, like if you're going to judge me based on the container that I'm sitting in, then can't help it. Go find somebody who's dressed more appropriate to what you think like somebody who's going to help you is going to be like, right? Um, I think that's part of the reason that I grown out my hair too. I used to keep it short and kept it really short, and now I have it really long. You've probably, I don't know, if you haven't seen it before, like I'm on the internet somewhere. There's probably a picture. So I'm I'm feeling like things are moving. I'm feeling that I don't know what I'm feeling actually. Like it just kind of feels, and maybe this is the funny thing, right? Like I've been having a lot of feelings lately, especially after the programs ended. You know, for 18 months, I knew like every month I was going to see this group of like 60 amazing people, to have the opportunity to interact with all these like wonderful people. Um, and maybe that's maybe this program will bring those quality people together, um, into a space that I can then look forward to seeing over and over again. I think that would be really nice. Because like what are we if not social beings? We are, we live in a world full of context. We can only relate to things based on the things that are around us. We relate to other people and we relate to other objects, and like there's so much context that gives us the meaning in our lives. So maybe that's something that I can look forward to. I think that's something that I will look forward to. And if you feel like you're one of these people that are looking for community, looking for connection, looking for not only connection with other people, because I think that's part of it. At the same time, connecting with yourself first is so important. And I'll say that before I was able to connect with myself, I had so much difficulty connecting with other people. I It's not a challenge for everybody, and but sometimes like even when you go through and work in any kind of like work culture, corporate culture, it might be very easy to lose yourself. And after working in that kind of environment for even like 5 or 10 years, once you've assimilated into that, you may be successful within that environment, and at the same time you may begin to lose yourself. So the first part is connecting with yourself so that you can connect more deeply with other people. I found that to be true for myself. And now that I've spent the time to work and connect more, and to connect more with myself and to be more in tune with myself, I feel like I'm able to, what can I say? I'm a yapper. I've filled up the other SD card. I've talked so long that I forgot that I didn't clear off any of the SD cards. So the other one ran out, but all I wanted to just come back on here and finish saying was that I've connected with myself. I forgot where I was, but I'll just come back on and sign off because I'm a yapper, talk too much. I'd love to, I probably would be ideal to keep these more to like 20 minutes for like watchability, but like hopefully the I wonder sometimes when I talk to my students or others just about things, and I like kind of go on these like rambly like tangents and connecting all of these threads. You know what? Like, it's all good. So luckily I cleaned up and I found an SD card that I had purchased and not open yet, so I was able to just quickly pop it in and just continue on, come back on and sign off and say thanks for chilling. If you got all the way to this part, thank you. Thank you for seeing me, for coming all this way with me. We're going to continue going. Watch out for more. Pull your human design chart. Like, send me your email. Follow me on social media. Send me your email so that I can connect with you. Message me. Send me stuff. I'd love to hear from you if you have any specific questions. Yeah, and let's have some fun. I'd love to find like that tight group of people who are ready to make a difference in their own lives and the lives of others. I know that I can help you get to the place that you want, because your biggest obstacle is yourself. Your biggest obstacle is yourself. My biggest obstacle is me. I'm my own biggest problem. And when you realize that you are that too, then you can finally do something about it. It's not a criticism. It's not a judgment. It's just simply, it's simply information. So think about that. If you don't think that you are your biggest problem, comment down below and tell me who your biggest problem is. And I don't know, I'm not going to judge you for it. If that's what you think, then you have something that you can go and deal with. You go and do the thing that you need to do. But I've spent enough time looking outside and pointing fingers outside of myself and realizing that it didn't get me anywhere far. It didn't get me anywhere fast. And when I started to turn the lens back onto myself, look inside, do that self work, do the internal work, make the internal shifts, that's when everything changed for me. So if you're not there yet on your journey, I welcome you to continue on your journey. I encourage you to keep moving forward. Do the things that you think that you need to do. I believe that free will and fate, determinism, live hand in hand together, and you absolutely have the free will to keep going on the path that you would like to do. If you are tired of searching on your own, of just trying one thing after another, and still not getting anywhere far, I have a solution for you. We'll see you tomorrow.